Welcome, Carm Capriato, the Service Aftermarket's podcast pioneer with the gold standard of aftermarket business podcasts. Join me for Aftermarket Insights as we advance the aftermarket. And as always, know that you'll learn just one thing. Find us on your favorite podcast listening app and remarkableresults.biz or on my YouTube channel. Hey, welcome to AAPEX 2023. We're in the beautiful studio brought to you by AAPEX 2023. Bill and Paul, thank you so much for this gorgeous fishbowl we're in.
Hey, we're so glad to have you here.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm with Bill Hanvey, President and CEO of the Auto Care Association, strategic direction of the Auto Care Association's 3,000 members and 150,000 companies representing automotive manufacturers, distributors, and service providers. Do you know that you have to do that every day?
Every single day.
Attaboy.
You better believe
What
it.
spirit.
We live it.
I love it. Oh my God. You went to college just south of Buffalo, my hometown,
Sure
at
did.
St. Bonaventures. Paul McCarthy's here, President and CEO of MEMA, the Aftermarket Suppliers Group. Hey, Paul.
Hey, glad to be back.
You guys have both been on my show in the past. I appreciate you coming on. Bill, you and I have done stuff on Right to Repair with Lisa and so many others. But I got to tell you, I was missing something when you guys came out on the stage. You were missing something. Last year, you had this white thing hanging off your body.
Oh
I
my
think,
God,
wasn't
I
it?
know.
I did. The arm is attached again now, thankfully.
Tracy goes over to me and says, remember last year you broke your arm or something?
Oh yeah, I shattered the shoulder,
Yeah.
broke the humerus. I'm just glad to be at AAPEX without pain pills this year. I remember the show this year.
Paul, come and walk the line. No.
And
No.
what a trooper he was for being here last year.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, thanks, Bill.
Amazing.
You guys had a great opening.
Mhm.
I loved it. The room again was full. We're thinking there's what, 1,000 people in that room?
A little more.
A little bit more.
Yeah, 1,200. I think.
1,200 industry leaders were in that room listening to Paul and Bill do the open and to challenge us all on Right to Repair. Some of the statistics that you gave us, guys, were kind of mind-blowing. And every time I have a chance to open my mouth about our market share out of warranty, 70% of the aftermarket gets that piece of the pie. And based on what you guys did in a study, don't know where the study came from. I'm sure you guys dug down deep inside that maybe by 2035, we could be down to 53%. Or I think what you were saying is $93 billion of money that shifted.
Out of the aftermarket.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was a study. Roland Berger did it for a landmark study last year. And it's true. I mean, for decades, we've had 70% market share.
Yeah.
I mean, when consumers have choice, we know what that looks like.
Yeah.
They prefer the independent aftermarket because of the convenience, the entrepreneurship, the great service that we bring. And yeah, the study said, hey, by 2035, because of these repair restrictions, that could be just 54%, and it could decline from there. So I think the key takeaway is this is real. You don't necessarily see it in every vehicle that comes in, but this is real. This will have a big impact. And just doing that math, Bill had that great stat that he had, which was $92 billion. That translates that by 2035, $92 billion of service that consumers would like to bring to the independent aftermarket, they may not be able to. And
Scary thought, guys.
that is bad.
Yeah,
It's bad for us. It's a disaster for consumers.
Paul framed it up really well, but we talk about right to repair. People hear about right to repair, but very little do they really understand what the consequences might be. And that's what we're really trying to drive home.
We are driving home. In fact, we had Kathleen Callahan here an hour ago.
Fantastic.
We had Dwayne Myers here,
Mhm.
and we had Jennifer Keaton
Mhm.
because Lisa Fauché stayed back
Yes,
to work on some stuff.
you bet.
Okay, cool stuff. And we heard Kathleen talk about the testimony. She testified in front of.
Sure did.
It was a great story. We heard about her dress that she had to go buy and all. It was a fun episode. But we drove home Right to Repair
Mhm.
hard and heavy. And I love your point. We can't ignore it anymore.
No.
We're so close with 46 members of Congress signing on. How hard did you guys together work on that?
And how long? Right. It's been a battle since I remember. And, I've been in my position for 8 years. We got the original MOU with the automakers back in 2014. We really immediately began to work on the telematics portion of this, which is really where, the rubber hits the road. So a
Yeah.
long time.
Yes. And getting those 46 co-sponsors, the sponsors, supporters of the bill in Congress, I mean, it just takes blood, sweat, and tears. There's nothing other than shoe leather lobbying that can get there. But the thing that really makes it possible, it's your listeners reaching out to their Congress people. It's activating themselves, the people they know, their customers. That's what opens the door for us to come in and say, hey, let's explain this to you.
Yeah.
This is why you're hearing about this. This is why it matters. And that has gotten us every single one of those sponsors.
One of the coolest things you guys ever did was to create repair.Com. I believe it's a new site.
Mhm.
And I love the feature of /drivers. Guys, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Who did it? All right.
Collectively.
Collectively, someone had this brilliant idea.
Yep.
Because, listen, if you turn away from your future by not playing in our sandbox of working and getting letters sent to Congress,
Yeah.
which years ago we had to write and sign and mail and stamp and go to the post office. Today, you go to repairact.com, you click a button, you put in your zip code, and I think it's done. Am I right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's that easy today to communicate with a legislator.
Mhm.
And even if your senator's not involved yet and it hasn't gone over to the Senate, they're going to send some kind of letter to the senator and say, hey,
That's
we
right.
want to let you know.
Yep.
That's cool because something's coming down the pipe. I think it's brilliant to be able to involve our customer who's getting their car serviced, who may lose choice, and I don't think they have a clue. And
No.
Bill, you said memorandum of understanding, an MOU.
Yes.
We talk in acronyms all the time, so I
I'm
had to
sorry.
clear it up.
Yep.
No, that's okay. And what I heard today from you guys, if they're not enforceable, it's just junk on paper.
Yes.
And we've learned our lesson well, that there needs to be an agency for enforcement to hold not only the automakers accountable, but for our industry accountable, just to make sure that people are following the guidelines of the law, that there is a mechanism in place for if the law is not being followed, how do we file for that? Who is responsible for that? And it's an absolute necessity to have that included.
Right to repair. I know we're talking about it a lot lately, but we really need your help if you're listening.
Mhm.
It's about data access, repair access, and parts access, right? It was a couple of years ago, you wrote a blog or you wrote an article, and you know your car knows how much weight you gained.
That's correct.
And in true reality, you guys, did you mention it again today, I think? Or somebody mentioned it that I bumped into.
Well, good. I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
So that's a well-educated industry advocate. But, Paul mentioned it takes a lot of shoe leather to get this done and lobbying. The automakers have a tremendous amount of lawyers, lobbyists, and money. We may not have as much as the automakers, but what we have is the 4.7 million people that are employed in the automotive aftermarket. That's what's really important to the legislators, and that's why we're really driving this home as a grassroots effort to ensure that we get our ability to access that data.
And I just want to add, some people don't like to get involved in politics, but what we want to stress is what we're pushing for. It really is principles based. It's nothing more than what we've long had, the ability to repair vehicles just now in this era of technology. And it's the things you mentioned. We need the telematics data that allows us to diagnose vehicles. We need the repair information data on this new technology so we can actually do these repairs, and we need the parts integration. So you can pick, do you want to use this part or that quality part? That's all we're asking for. Nothing more than what we need for repair. And so again, this is a bipartisan bill. It's easy to support, and I think everybody can feel comfortable. This isn't political. This is about every driver out there.
Make your commitment to go to repairact.com. Hey, it's no secret. We're facing a technician shortage, and Napa Auto Care has a solution with the Napa Auto Care Apprentice Program. The program was pioneered by one of our own. Pete McNeil and Master Technician Jeg Sorensen from McNeil's Auto Care in Sandy, Utah, realized that the problem of not having technicians available for hire was not going to solve itself and decided to take action and look at a different audience of individuals available for hire. A focus was put on younger individuals with the right passion, desire, and attitude to work in the automotive repair industry. Jake and Pete sought after these individuals and developed a technician apprentice program to give them the training needed to become a successful technician in today's world. The Napa Auto Care Apprentice Program includes a comprehensive 9-stage curriculum that includes a variety of types of training, and they are classroom training videos exclusive to the apprentice program. Now, these videos provide in-depth training from a successful master technician. Also, Autotech classes with instructor-led courses offered through Napa Autotech and Autotech e-learning. This web-based e-learning is designed to target specific training topics. And finally, hands-on learning. The apprentice will apply the skills gained from the classroom training videos, Autotech instructor-led training, and Autotech e-learnings in the shop with the guidance of a mentor. The apprentice program curriculum is competency-based, meaning an apprentice can move through each stage at a pace that best suits them. Most apprentices complete the program within 2 years. Upon completion, apprentices will have earned ASE G1, A4, A5, and AC certifications, adding industry validation to the skills an apprentice acquires. Look, having an apprentice in your shop will ultimately benefit your bottom line as they advance through the program. And in most cases, as the apprentice develops their skill set producing billable hours, you'll begin to see a growth in your gross profit by stage 5. One of the largest barriers to entry for individuals looking to enter the automotive repair industry is the cost of tools. Now, keep your apprentice motivated with an apprentice toolkit. Now, Napa Auto Care has worked with our supplying partners to offer an exclusive comprehensive tool set, including a 4-drawer tool cart for all registered apprentices. Hey, to learn more, members can visit member.napaautocare.com. Okay, AAPEX. Are we back to pre-COVID numbers?
No,
Oh,
we're exceeding.
that's even better.
Exactly. So that's what we're
Right.
thrilled about. 2,600 exhibitors from more than 40 countries. We have buyers from 111 countries. 46,000 buyers are here. So we have a full house. The numbers are great. And Paul, I think we both can agree that we've been hearing really positive feedback for
Yeah.
the course of the time that we've been here.
The energy is fantastic. And as Bill said, the floor is sold out. But I'd say it's not just getting back to where we were pre-COVID. This is better than pre-COVID because it's not the same show that you saw before. What we had before, all the industry getting together, the industry homecoming. But now there's also all this technology. There's Joe's Garage with the ADAS demonstrations and vehicle. There's EV experience stage. I mean, AAPEX now is about helping these service professionals be ready and ahead of the curve. See that road ahead and be ready for all this technology that's coming.
You said that this morning. I think it was you. We are a technology company. I don't know, maybe Bill or Paul, whichever one, but
Doesn't matter.
I wrote it down. I wrote it down. And there are some of us that have yet to accept that we have to change course, do business differently, hire differently, train differently, buy different tools, talk to our customers differently from a technology perspective.
Data is an important part of that. You
Oh,
know,
boy.
whether you're running your business, you need business data. If you're a technician, you need vehicle data. So as you mentioned, we are a technology industry. The reliance upon data is becoming increasingly more important. And that's what we're trying to do here at AAPEX, is to give people a venue to share that data, to understand the data, and obviously to interact with one another.
We are absolutely a technology industry,
Yeah.
but there's a silver lining too. I know it can be a little bit intimidating, but it's also exciting. I mean, you've talked to a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
service professionals. I mean, there's a reason we got into this. We like fixing things and figuring things out. Now there's a whole new set of fun things. And the other aspect of that is it gives us that pipeline for the next generation
Yeah.
of folks. Because once they understand we're a technology industry, that's where people want to work. And once they understand who we are and who we're becoming,
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of people who want to be in this industry, we think.
So the word is innovation, which is stuff that we have to keep up with. But I see a lot of innovation here. I mean, you're doing a lot of EV training. We have great coaches, great trainers in all of the training classes. I think there's like 36 training classes that are going on here. Management, service advisor, leadership, technology, keys, you diagnostics, you name it, you got it. What could you do to explain the kind of exhibits that are up there that are so innovative that when a person walks by, their mouth drops and you sit there and watch one after the other saying, wow, and appreciate where we've come and where we still have yet to go? What have you seen? You see anything really off the charts? Because I haven't been upstairs and I haven't walked around here yet.
I can't give specific examples because they're all our children.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Dad.
but it's true, and everybody has an opportunity to see the technology
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But what they don't understand is that when they go home, the exhibitors and the suppliers are working on that technology from the minute they walk into the office and in the morning, 24/7, 365 days a year. So Apex is just a culmination of the hard work that they have put in, throughout the year. And the consumer would be blown away if they saw this environment to say, oh my gosh, this is everything that is part of getting my vehicle repaired and having a part available in 30 minutes to be delivered to the shop.
Scary, huh?
And this is where it all comes together.
That's a great point, Bill, because one of the things you get walking around Apex is just how impressed you are with the aftermarket industry, with the service industry. If any consumer did walk this, there's no way they wouldn't feel confident to say, hey, I can trust that shop. Look at this quality. Look at this technology. I just want to trust these folks.
I have an experiment to do next year. Let's get 5 totally off the street consumers, maybe 8, and let's walk them around. I would love to hang with them with my open mic, you guys, and let them go buy this ADAS display. Let them go touch one of those pieces of equipment that does diag work. Let them go touch some of the tools that make our jobs productive and efficient, and ask them, did you have any idea how complex and how technology driven it is to fix your car?
Yeah.
We pick these out and we walk around. To me, we've been to a meeting that did this once in a panel in front of service professionals. And one of the things that was asked of these 8 people was, you've heard the words mechanic, you've heard the words technician. What do you think the guys are called who work on your car?
Yeah.
And every one of them said mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
And we as an industry are trying to change that to be technician, but the consumer is having none of it.
Right.
Point is that we're talking to people and explaining how we've serviced their car. We always say, if you're looking in the bay through the glass and the guy's got a white lab coat and he's got a tablet in his hand, then he's probably smart, brilliant, and he's going to take care of your car in the right time frame and actually really fix it, because we are a technology company.
Yep.
We got to experiment with that.
My wife is here for the first time this year, and she was just amazed. She goes, my gosh, she goes, you've tried to explain this industry to me before, but until I got here, I had no idea. She goes, I am just blown away with what everybody does.
But to my point of really wanting to interview people and get their first impressions, maybe I need to get her in here, Bill, because our industry needs to hear from the consumer's perspective and get a new respect of what it is that we do.
That's the word.
I don't think people realize what they have invested in training and in tools and equipment. And we're looking for really talented people that can do the right thing for the company and the consumer. I don't think we stop enough to reflect on that. And that's my point is, if I had a consumer come in there and do a jaw drop, I say, well, what are you seeing?
Yeah.
What didn't you know? Maybe I need to interview your wife.
My God, she would kill me.
Oh, I would go real easy on her, Bill, really. We wouldn't talk about you at all.
I'm certainly good.
So when do you start planning 2024?
I think that was about 6 months ago.
Yeah, literally.
What a great answer.
Yeah, literally. We worked on our panel for next year for the breakfast.
Yeah, we saw that.
That's in bed. And, we're just constantly trying, talk about innovating. We're constantly trying to innovate the show, make it relevant and keep up with technology. And so it's 24/7 for both of our associations.
And next year, actually, we're going to have a larger show. We have more space because we were sold out early this year. We had to turn people away. So it's going to be a larger show with more things. And I think what's so intriguing is we talked about all the technology, but the reality is we're all living in two worlds right now. We got our existing kind of products and what we've long done, and that's got a long fat tail. We're going to make a lot of money off of it. That's all here. And you have all the new technology, all the innovation, the things that we may not be as comfortable with. And you can come to AAPEX and learn it and see it and feel it and experience it. And frankly, just get excited about it. I mean, we're next to Joe's garage. It's a playground. When I see this stuff, it's just fun. I'm excited, and I feel so confident about our industry and its future.
So who came up with Magic Johnson?
Our teams, we take a look at prospective speakers and who would be relevant, and our joint events teams came up with the idea, and Paul and I vetted it, and we talked to our boards about it. And yeah, that sounds like
We considered how bad we would look standing next to him and seeing how
Comparatively.
tall he was.
That was so smart not to be on stage with him. Did you?
by design.
If I can just share with the audience, Magic comes down and he works the floor.
Yeah.
Because he said, I'm tall enough, I don't need to be on stage, right?
Mhm.
And he's down asking people to do chest bumps with him and then taking selfies. He just knew how to work the crowd. He
Sure
was
did.
just this real, genuine person.
And what was incredible about him was not just his amazing sports history we all know, but frankly, his business history and insights were even more impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I walked away with execution. I walked away with, he wants solutions. He looks like a dominant kind of an individual.
Yeah.
Another really great story was when he went to his dad about, I think it was the Kansas City money. And the old man says, you could be poor for one more year.
That's right. That was fantastic.
I know. Immediately you started to figure out that he's really a humble person. He's
Mhm.
helped a lot of people. He owns a lot of companies.
Yep.
And he talked about walking away from the Nike deal. And OMG, when he did the math on what he walked away
Oh
from,
my gosh.
the entire 1,200 people just gasped.
Right.
1.5 bill, I think he said.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They wanted to give him shares instead of money
Yeah.
to rep their sneakers.
Well, we've all made decisions we regret in life, but I don't think I've ever made a $1.5 billion mistake. I hope I never do it in my life, but
It hurts just to hear it.
Yeah, but having Magic there, I think, set an incredible tone. Great idea. Thank you for doing that.
Our pleasure.
So, any final words? Encourage people to come here next year because it's going to be even bigger. I know you're going to continue the themes of training, and what you've got going on in Joe's garage. You just look. There's 10 cars up on lifts that can actually run and be
Yeah.
exhaust.
Mhm.
I mean, come on.
You know.
You can't go anywhere else.
No.
And nowhere in the country and see this.
No. And if you're listening and you haven't been here, do what you can to get here. And you will be back year after year after year. Once you make the initial trip, Paul and I would have the FOMO. You get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't miss out. And the training is great. And so if you're not here, plan on being here next year, and we'll make sure that it's worth your trip.
Well
Great.
said, Bill. If you want to feel the energy of the present of our incredible industry, you want to feel prepared for the future, come to AAPEX next year.
There you go.
Wow. Bill Hanvey, President, CEO of the Auto Care Association, and Paul McCarthy, President, CEO of MEMA. How's that, all the new MEMA stuff going? Great?
Oh, it's going great. We just simplified, and MEMA Aftermarket Suppliers has all our aftermarket stuff, whether it's light, heavy duty remanufacturing.
And we need the parts. We need the supply partners out there. I mean, what a incredible joint venture with you two getting together and owning
Mhm.
this show.
You bet.
Thanks,
It's a
guys.
great partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, partner.